Hello, everyone. This is our last video for chapter 2. And it's extremely short. So our two theorems for today are vertical angles are congruent and theorem linear pairs are supplementary. These are two things we've already talked about this year, and they're very useful. So if I look at my example here that I want to do with you, it's given that ACFG and BCDE intersect. That's really just saying these two are lines, and that I know angle A is congruent to angle B. So I'm going to label those congruent. And then I want to prove, and this is where I'm going to use a different color to show what I want to prove, which is ADC is congruent to BFC. And so I'm going to come down here. And for ease, I'm going to rename ADC as little c and BFC as little d. And that's just going to make what I'm writing a little bit shorter. So in my proof, I have statements and reasons. And my first statements are always my givens, which is, let's see, BCDE and ACFG, and that we know angle A is congruent to angle B. So then we also know that angle A and angle C are supplementary. And we know that angle D and angle B are supplementary. And our reason is linear pairs are supplementary. And then we can use that theorem we used yesterday, where we can say that angle C is congruent to angle D because supplements of congruent angles are congruent. And that is our proof. We are done. So now we have another example that I want you to pause and give it a try and then come back and listen to my answer. Okay, so all I've done at this point is write down my givens. And I'm going to label my diagram that 3 is congruent to 2. And this then, angle 3 is congruent to 1 is what I want to prove. So looking at the diagram, after I know 3 is congruent to 2, what else can you say? Well, if we look at this diagram, we can say that angle 2 is congruent to angle 1, and that's because vertical angles are congruent. And now that I know 2 is congruent to 1, and I know 3 is congruent to 2, I can use the transitive property and say angle 3 is congruent to 1 based on the transitive property. And you can also say substitution. And my proof is done. And that's it for our video. I would like you to start some of the classwork tonight. So let's say maybe do 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll work on the rest in class tomorrow. And then tomorrow night you'll have more proofs and review. And we're looking at our unit test to be sometime next week. If you have any questions, please bring them to class.